Hi, Michael Buffer here, and let's get ready for FM Boxing Media.
This is Frankie Morgan here from FM Boxing Media, brought to you by the High Protein Company and Essex Event Hire. And you seem as cosy as the last interview, but this is a much better one now, ain't it?
Yeah, much better. I mean, it's not quite my living room sofa, but yeah. But no, do you know what? Yeah, I'm just as relaxed, and I'm very happy that I'm back in, not being stretched out of the ring.
Yeah, well, I just spoke to you after the fight, and I said you looked very calm, composed, didn't look like there was any nerves about you, but you said, obviously, you did have some nerves going in there. You're always going to have nerves after that, but the performance didn't show that one bit.
Honestly, I was bricking it going in, to be honest. I feel like once I got that first round out of the way, and then I started to feel my rhythm a little bit again, and the nerves sort of just gradually faded. I just needed to get that first 3 minutes. Once I got that first 3 minutes out of the way, then I sort of knew what I had in front of me. I knew how to deal with him. Obviously, we drilled certain things anyway, but it was more just the expectation. I was like, oh my God, I'm back on the stage. I'm this, and yeah, it was just, there was a lot of things going through my mind. But now it's over. Got the 4 rounds. I mean, I didn't really get a lot out of him, so. But at the end of the day, listen, we got the win. We're back on track, and yeah, I can relax now.
Yeah, I know the ring walk song. It wasn't actually your ring walk song for the ring walk, but the actual lyrics were allowing me to reintroduce myself.
Yeah.
And was that with purpose? Was that the
Of course
reason?
it was, 100%. Yeah, everything was done with intent. I was. Everything was done with intent. I picked that song for a reason because it's literally allowed me to reintroduce myself. And on the back of my t-shirts, I got the resurrection because I do believe we've turned a corner. Do you know what I mean? I believe that was my 90-degree fork in the road, and yeah, that was my rebirth. So yeah, 100%. Listen, it was all done with intent. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play it. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they played it after they introduced you in the ring, and on the way out of the ring, I guess it's half good enough. At least people heard the lyrics. But
I was fuming going into the ring. I'm not gonna lie. On the way to the ring walk, I was like, "What's happened to the ring walk?" And then,
where's my ring walk?
oh no, I got into the first thing I got into the ring. The first thing that happened, I got into the ring. I didn't even say to him, "Carl." I was expecting to get in there with like a little bit of nerves, and I got in. I was like, "What happened to my ring walk?" But yeah, no, listen. Maybe we'll save it for another day.
Yeah, well, I guess you did go out there and reintroduce yourself. It was a very calm and collected performance. Last time round, you was actually winning the fight, but it wasn't as calm, it wasn't as collected. It was a bit more rushed, weren't it? And that's the reason that the mistakes come. But tonight, it was like you was thinking every single punch through, and there weren't one mistake, was there?
Everyone said that I was mature before. They said early on in my career I'd shown maturity and the way I got people out of there before. But I'll be honest, I think when I watch it back now, I sort of cringe at it. I do look at it and I think like, oh my God, what happened to me was waiting to happen. And I feel like it needed to happen because I was never going to change if it didn't. You know, I was never going to change my ways, or I was never going to try different things, or if that didn't happen to me. It was just one of those things that needed to happen. It's just a shame that it happened in my first title fight. But to be honest, whether it was going to happen in my first title fight or a world title fight, when it can't happen, you know, so it's a little bit bittersweet, to be honest. But yeah, I felt so relaxed in there. I know it was only 4 rounds. It got changed on the day from 6 to 4. But listen, I see myself as a championship fighter, so I'm boxing at a 10-round, 8-round pace. We just gradually keep building the opposition.
Yeah, when people do ask me about you, they'll say like Tom Welland, he's 23, 24, 25, and I go, nah, he ain't even close to that. He's had the career of a 25-year-old, but. How old are you?
21.
And everyone's shocked when you say that. It's mad because you have had the career of a 25-year-old so far. You've boxed in title fights, you've headlined fights, you've sold out the arenas on your own now. You've even gone to box at the O2 on probably the biggest fight of the year so far. Mm-hmm. How good does it feel to say that as a 21-year-old you have definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, had the career of someone that maybe even 25 years old won't get the experience you've had?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, even just to box at the O2 regardless. You know, I'm boxing at the O2 arena in really what's a get-back fight that should be on a small hall show where I'm not earning anything. I'm just doing it just to get back and just to prove myself. You know, I've done it on probably the biggest, like you say, the biggest stage of the year so far, maybe the biggest stage of the year. You know, so it's one of those things where you can't take it for granted, but at the same time, like, I do deserve to be here at the same time. You know, like people say, like, yeah, I lost my last one, but it was entertaining. People come to watch it as a promoter. They look at that and think, "God, you know what? He might have lost, but he's entertaining. We'll put him on a big stage." You know, he was winning that fight. He just got clipped. That's what happens. You know, listen, it was a get back fight. There was demons, but at the same time, like we've cleared that up. We're moving forward now, and it's like at 21 at the O2. It can only get bigger, as my career progresses. You know, maybe next time it's a stadium, then we might be back at the O2. You know, so we'll see. But hopefully this is a regular occurrence.
One thing I do want to say as well, I mentioned this to George Liddard, a lot of people say about how great of people you are outside of the ring, and I've looked at these t-shirts and looked at your shorts, and you've got the likes of W2 Fit, who you've
Absolutely
done the promo video with, but to start the fight you've got Trim Talk, and people might look at that and think, oh, they've paid their money, but I know you're doing that out of the kindness of your heart, you're doing that to promote a local business.
Listen, we've all got to pay our bills, right? But at the same time, they're local lads, they're nice lads that I've known since I was a kid, really. Like, did you see Dan Dockett of Trim Tool posted a picture of me and him at Jamie Williams?
When you were 15,
I was probably about 18, he was about 15, he's a few years younger than me. I can't remember exactly what ages we were, but we were kids. He's going down his own route of a podcast, and I want to support him as much as because it comes in both ways. He supports me, I support him, you know, like, and he had me on his podcast, it's getting good views. Like, the least I can do is show a bit of support for him and put him on my shoulders. You know, everyone's got to pay their bills, yes, but at the same time, we're both from the same sort of area, we're both the same sort of age, we're both chasing our dreams. So yeah, I'd like to support him. Same with W2 Fit. You know, I know it's hard for a business, not just a clothing company, but a business to make any money. I know Luke down the same gym down at Legends at Jamie Williams is. I met him down there, and he was doing the clothing. He was doing W2 Fit then. You know, so he's had it hard, and he struggled to get off his feet with the business for years. You know, hopefully this will help him.
One man I do want to grab in. Coach.
Don't know if this is
first time on the channel. Don't worry, I'll get some notes.
Everyone's got to pay their bills.
Everyone does have to, exactly. Yeah. Following on from everyone's got to pay their bills. I'll send you an invoice after.
I can pay cash if that's better.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Where'd you get that cash from, Frank?
No comment.
No comment. Taxman, don't ask about this video. But
Tom,
first time.
Shh. Mate, we're in the middle of an interview.
There's always one to interrupt. You might as well show your face now. I can clickbait you for views. Actually, Jay, what's your new business idea? Lee Eaton's got you on a new business.
Apparently,
I'm 50% in.
And want to pimp me out as like a
Stag do
midget that does backflips for £75.
There you go. If anyone's got 75, cash or card?
Cash only.
Cash.
Of course, it's always
We're all
cash.
on the cash, but. Yeah, first time out, Tom Welland. Obviously,
yeah.
we know you've been in the corner of many, many great boxers, but how did Tom Welland's performance fare tonight compared to the rest?
Very pleased. Do you know what? The opponent didn't give us much. Like, we went in with a plan, thinking the opponent was going to be sort of willing to throw back a little bit more, and that's how we were going to execute taking them out, to be honest. But yeah, from round one, it was very clear he didn't want to throw anything back. It's a little bit frustrating for Tom. He come back after round one, he's not throwing anything. Where's that lead that you told me he was going to throw? And it just weren't there. And when you got a journeyman in there who just wants to survive, it makes it difficult for him. Sometimes you see these lads getting frustrated, trying to force their work, but he never. Stayed nice and calm, stuck to the plan, load of different variety. Yeah, really pleased. Really pleased.
Do you find it mad after the last fight? A lot of journeymen might have looked at Tom and thought, "Oh, I could make a name for myself here." But does that show how powerful Tom is with them first few shots? That it looked like he respected him arguably too much from the first couple of shots.
Yeah, he went in with the mindset of he just wanted to get through, especially when they dropped it from a 6 to a 4. His mindset would be, I can fiddle my way through this. What happened to Tom last time doesn't take away from how big of a puncher he is. His records speak for himself, so you're going to find it difficult to have a journeyman type opponent actually come in and have a proper go with him. But yeah, I think we're done with him now anyway. Like Lee said, we're going to push on. May 29th looks like it'll be the next date. Some kind of youth title with a opponent coming to win. And I truly believe that's when you see the best of Tom. Do you know what I mean? When he's got someone in front of him, giving him opportunities that he can take advantage of.
Yeah, and obviously you had a lot of time with Tom after the last fight. It weren't like you've only had 6 weeks like a lot of coaches you'll join on, you'll be out, you'll have a fight date announced. But how good was it to actually have that time to sit down with Tom and practice the things before a fight was even signed?
Yeah, I think that was needed. Like, my way of coaching is going to be different to what Tom's had previously. I think we were about 4 weeks in, he turned around to me, man, I'm fucking terrible at boxing. I think I'm going to... You guys, I can't get it.
I was close to packing it in because
said,
it's just so different.
Yeah, so I don't get it. He said, I can see everything you're telling me. Like, you're telling me this is going to happen and it's happening. I just can't do anything about it. But I said to him, just take your time. Do you know what I mean? Don't get frustrated by that. Be pleased that you've now got a different view on actually what you're supposed to be doing. And yeah, sparring just went from strength to strength. Yeah, very quickly picked it up, and from there he hasn't looked back. Like, we've had great sparring rounds, been performing well in sparring. Yeah, like I said, it was a bit frustrating tonight, just because the kid never threw nothing back. He couldn't really put into action what we've seen in the sparring and in the gym, but that will come. Like you guys were talking earlier, he's only 21 years old. He's going to be around for a long time, competing at a really, really good level. So, yeah, everyone stay tuned in to Tom's career, 100%.
Yeah, and obviously it was a big switch for you. It was a big move because we all know Will wasn't a coach. Will was a mate as much as he was a coach. But moving over, changing all these things, how much of a benefit do you feel from just maybe getting out of your comfort zone more than anything? Because you said to me it weren't a massive issue. You just wanted to get out of your comfort zone. You wanted to change something up, and now you look like a well-schooled boxer in there tonight.
I just think after the last fight, especially, like obviously there was issues during the camp and. Not between me and Will, but more just the sparring. We've struggled, and nothing that was our fault. Nothing that was anyone else's fault apart from just life. But I've been training with him for so long that sometimes you do just need a change. And even me and Will sat down for like 3 or 4 hours talking about it before I actually made a decision. And we both come to the conclusions like, look, maybe it is time. Like we've done this for so long, you need a change. Like you're not improving. You're not improving at the rate of knots that you was before in the last 2 or 3 years. You know, every fight, you could see the difference in me from fight 1 to 6. You could see a difference every single time. Sort of started to hit the top of the cliff and started to just come back the other way. You know, then that was time to move over. It was very hard, and I didn't want to lose my relationship with Will. As it happens, a lot of people get this wrong. I'd done it properly, and I sat down with Will, and I was completely open with him about how I was thinking, to the point where he now comes to us for sparring and helps us out, and we go down there and help us out.
I was going to bring up, on that note, that's how a professional coach should handle themselves, and big respect to Will for the way he handled the situation. Like, me and Will were out in Ghana together. Tom had already moved over. He come and done the cuts for me for my lad for nothing. He's been bringing one of his lads down to us for sparring
like twice a week.
Yeah, almost the whole camp. So like, it proves that if you can just park your ego to the side and actually have an understanding that as a coach you're there to supplement the boxer, and sometimes things don't work out. And as men and human beings, like, there should be situations where relationships come to an end, but you can still shake hands, walk away, and still support each other moving forwards. And I respect Will massively for that, and how he's helped us, and his lads have helped us through the camp, and we'll be doing the same for him moving forwards. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it should be. The boxing game is really small. Everyone knows everybody, and to be falling out and having disagreements over stuff that really doesn't matter, it's stupid and pointless, because we all have to see each other. We all need help. We all need rounds in camp, and they're tough to come by sometimes. So yeah, big shout out to Will for how he handled the situation. Yeah, he's a good man.
I mean, even like coming up to this, Will knew how I'd be feeling. Obviously, Will knows me inside out. You know, so, and he was messaging me all day yesterday and the day before. He was like, "Listen, how you feeling? Don't be nervous. Trust it. Trust your process. You've looked really good in sparring." You know, like, and almost being like my mate.
Yeah.
I mean, like being my pal, like how he was, but like how he was during mine and his working relationship, and also before boxing. He is my pal. You know, and he was sitting there like, "Listen, we all love you. Like, you can just go and do what you got to do. Like, just keep your nut down, stay focused, stick to the plan." Do you know what I mean? And look at, like you've said it already, I'm sure everyone else said it, how relaxed I look. Will's got a big part to play in that as well, you know, and just like I didn't feel that there was no ego between me and Will, you know, and it does help, it really does, and there's just no need to fall out.
The one thing I did realise when you first joined with Azza, I was thinking, oh no, we might not get the same access, we might not have a laugh with Tom at training anymore, but when we come down to do the promo video, the first thing we've done was you and Marco's brother taking the piss out of the fishing, and everyone just having a laugh. But it's good to have that relationship with a coach and a fighter where you can have all that access, you can sit back here after the fight and do these interviews, because a lot of coaches might even shut people out, but you know what's best for Tom is what's best for Tom.
This is a tough game. Everybody is just trying to make their way in the sport, whether that be from a coach's perspective, fighter's perspective, media perspective. If you can be in a position to help out, like, we all need help in this sport. It's very, very difficult to make it to a position where you're actually doing well enough that you're financially getting a benefit from this. Like, most of us are doing this pretty much voluntary until you get to the top. But yeah, listen, Tom's a good lad, and you guys are always welcome down the gym. All you boys are good lads. And I'm sure you'll be down again soon to do some filming for his next fight.
Definitely, Tom.
So,
I say congratulations.
Thank
Good to
you,
see you
appreciate
back.
it.
Nice one, boys.
Good to see you both.
See you
Thank
guys
you, boys.
soon.
See you soon.
All the best.
Top man.